Mr. PJ's Joomla 2.5, adding an article and adding pictures and more to your Joomla 2.5 installation. This is done for the amazing news as a contributor's guide to those who have access to the back end. First thing you need to do is you need to go over and to log on to your site. I use a password manager, and so I just go here and do that. Now, when adding an article, simply go to your article manager, click New, and then in your composition where you made the article itself, I always like to put the title, the description, the keywords ahead of time, so I can simply edit and copy and then go here and paste the information right in. Now the category is just going underneath my blog, so I'm going to put it here, and we are going to, typically speaking, we're going to be checking our users, and because I'm logged in as a different user, I wanted to create by and choose a user, and I like to set up the alias. Now you can set up the creation date when it is, as far as when it was actually written if you want, or it'll be default by today. You can go to start publishing, which is if you wanted to say publish in a week or 10 days, it can do that, or even a year. And then if you wanted to stop publishing on a certain date, you can add to finish publishing. The article options, you can just leave these alone because on our site we have these already pre-programmed for the global. Now if you wanted to add a specific read more text, we can change the read more text here, and we'll explain that about read more text later. Configuration and editing screen, you can see all the publishing and things for the front end, and again all this is globally configured, so you never have to worry about it. Images and links, you don't worry about these here right now. And the meta options, this is the other big important thing that you have to do. So in the meta description, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our article, and as you see I already wrote a description of what the article is kind of like about. So I'm going to copy that, go back into I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to go back to my article that I wrote. I'm going to write my keywords. Keywords are comma separated, and every keyword must be found in the article someplace, otherwise it actually is not good for your search engine optimization ranking. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit the paste here, and we're going to add the keywords there. Globals, here we have index follow, no index. Okay, we're going to use the global because it's already preset. The author, you can put your own name in here if you want. And the content rights is pretty much, I always hit the GNU, free to share, in case anybody has a question about that. And then the extended reference is where I got my Bible verse from. I like to at least let the site know where I got it from, and we do that. And so now what we're ready to do is we're ready to bring our article into the editor. Now before we begin anywhere else, we have all this taken care of. You need to put a letter in there, and what I like to do is I like to save, because I like to save often. It's an online thing, and if you mess it up, it's you know, at least it was already, at least you got the beginning of it saved. And as you see, the creation date and the publishing date has just started, so it's ready to go. And so here we go. And if you want it now, the different things that are up here we don't have to worry about right now. As you get more advanced into our article later on about publishers, we will explain some more. This is the advanced editor, and you can see down here you can toggle editors, and you can see there's a simple editor, there's this editor. We've eliminated the other editor, the one in between, but this is a good editor. And so what we're going to do very simply, it's a little tricky. What I like to do is I like to use OpenOffice, but a lot of you use Word, and what happens is this text, all of this text, when you use Word or any of those other things, even in this OpenOffice, when you use it, it adds extra coding. Now when you add the extra coding and it goes into your Joomla article, it will overwrite functions. So what I like to do is I like to copy it, I paste it into a notepad, and as you can see the word wrap is off, so it goes all the way across the end, so it looks at those as different individual paragraphs. And then I copy it back again, and then I go and paste it into my article. Now as you can see, you can't right click. If you hit this, it's going to come up with this little cut and paste doesn't work because it's an advanced editor. You have to hit Control V, and thus brings it in. Now what we can do is we can go and we can highlight anything that we want to change. Like I want to make that to bold. If I want to change the size of the font to 5 point, and the Romans 1 through 5, I want to make that a link. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my web browser here, and I am going to copy this link again, and I'm going to go back over here to and here when you want to when you want to create a link, you simply highlight it. It looks like a chain, and it's going to come up with some options. Now what I prefer to do is you can use a link URL, or you can use what's called a pop-up. Now I like using a pop-up, and what we're going to do is this, and the window name is going to be version online Bible. Okay, and then you have to set the size. I'm going to set it by 300 by 300, and we're going to show the scroll bar, so if they want to see it they can, and we're hit insert. So now what happens when you click on that link, you have a pop-up that shows up, and it's waiting for YouVersion, and there it goes. So it's got the little YouVersion, so if someone's interested in clicking on a link, they don't actually leave the site, but they do get to see where the actual text is. Now if you wanted to, you could simply come back over here to this, and hit your highlight it again, highlight it again, hit your link button, and you can edit the size. Okay, go back to the pop-up and say you wanted it to be 600 by 600. Now when you update it and you click on it, it's a larger size so that people can see that, and if they want to roll over. So we probably need about 800. So we're going to do one more time. Here, this, hit the pop-up. Oh, cancel. We missed it somewhere. And pop-up by 800. Update. Oh, I went the wrong way. That's okay. And pop-up, it's actually going to be width and then length. I get them backwards a lot. So update, and voila, it's fairly readable now, and so we're going to do that. So that's it. Okay. Now what happens when we publish this article, and say for instance we hit a featured. Now featured, what that is if your category, whatever the category is here, is set to receive featured articles, then if you hit the featured and you hit yes, wherever the call in a database for featured articles is, and it has this category, it will show up. For instance, on our home page, this particular blog is not part of the featured pool, I don't believe. And when you do featured articles, what you're doing is you're actually writing some like little synopsises or little pieces of intro text for people to come, and they catch the beginning part of something, and if it catches their attention, then they go ahead and they click on it and for the read more. To add a read more, it's very simple. You just simply go into your article. I like to hit a return button, and so it's right here. You see the little line, And what you do is you have to go to the bottom of your, and you hit the little read more, and there's this little line right here. That little line is the read more. You can only have one read more in every article. Now what happens is you get this paragraph here posted on your featured list or anywhere that the blog categories may show, and there'll be a little automatic link that says read more. Now when you go to that read more, um, that's when you'll get the rest of the article. Now particularly on our website, the way it is currently laid out, you don't want to put a large image here. So what we're going to do is we are going to add some images, and I downloaded a few, and I hope I saved them to the desktop. What we're going to see. So what we're going to do is, the first thing is, the way I like to add images, I use the image button down here. When you click this image button down here, you can first navigate to your folder. Make sure you navigate to your folder. When you put images here on the root, they can be deleted and often are, so you need to be careful about leaving your images here. This is not where you put your images. You must put them into a folder of some sort, and for here it's Mr. PJ's blog. Oh darn, I don't have any images, and I want to add an image to this article. So what do? I hit the browse button down here, and then I go to my desktop and I look to see if I have anything labeled. Oh, I do. Hedge of protection, open, start upload. Okay, and that's the one that I actually really wanted to insert. So now that I have it uploaded, you can see it here. If you click on it, you can see that it went into the image URL here. But what we're going to do, and then we're going to hit the insert. Okay, but beforehand you can set it if you want it to be on the left side or the right side, and I'm going to set it that I want it to be on the left side. Okay, and there is no cappage, but you can also put a image description, and I like to just put some kind of text here. Hedge. There doesn't have to be spaces in there. And image title is I like to do that. Just every place you can add keywords to an article that represent what this is and what it's supposed to be in relationship to your article is a good thing. So now we hit the insert button, and whoa, that's a big article. That's a big picture. Now there are two ways to take care of large pictures. Now one of the things that we can do is we can, as you can see, there's a little button down here, a little JavaScript that allows me to stretch this more and more. Now I don't know why this is way down here, but I want it to be the very, very top. So we're going to keep moving it to the very top, and I think our read more has disappeared. So let's see here. We are going to go here, and now what I want to do is, if you click on the image, you'll get these little adjusters. Now you want to grab the corner adjuster because that's going to shrink it prospectively. And so we're going to shrink it down so it's like that. And you can hit the enter button to kind of offset it if you like. And I have to come back down over here, and I have to add my read more. There it is. So now my read more is there. Now you can toggle the read more on and off all the time. Alright, and so if you wanted to, if it's a really long article, you can add a page break, but we're going to get into that later on. Okay, so we have this. Now what I want to do now is I want to add a second image to the article that's going to go right here. That is a much larger image that I did not want to put onto the front page. It would break all the constraints that we have. Okay, so here what we're going to do is we're going to hit image again, and you can see whenever you use the default Joomla media manager, it really just kind of, I don't like it at all, but it's functional, I guess. So I'm going to go back to my blog, to where my folder is. If you don't have a folder here and you need a folder, you have to send an info@amazingnews.us and we'll add a folder for you. Or, I mean, production at amazingnews.us. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit another browse, and we're going to look again for another article or for another image called hedge of protection. Let's see here. I don't see. Let's more options. Let's list these according to the date. Okay, it's inside the hedge. And so we're going to insert that one. I don't know what, we're going to rename it first of all. Rename. There's a underscore, and I don't click. Okay, so now we hit the inside the hedge. Okay, we hit insert. Oh, didn't work. Why? Because we didn't hit the upload. See, start, upload. Ah, there it is. Now you can see it's a long. So we're going to hit this button again. Comes into here, image description, inside God's hedge of protection. Alright, and then we're going to hit copy, and we're going to hit paste, and then we're going to hit align. We're not going to hit anything. We're going to hit insert, and voila, it is a huge image. Now, when you have an image that's this large, sometimes you're going to want to just shrink it. And as you're shrinking it, you can see that the size shows up. Now, I want to make it about that long. And that is it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to publish it and see what happens. So let's see how that goes. So what we're going to do to publish it is simply save. And then we're going to go over here to the view site. And there's a lot of content that loads on this page. And as you see, this is a little, it's not on this page because it's not part of the feature articles of the front page. Where do we find it then? You have to know where your blog is. And so my blog is right here, Mr. PJ's Journey. And so here's what we have. So in the read more text, remember I was telling you about the read more text, the hedge of protection relationships uses the title of the page. Okay, and here we have you know, a nice little blurb. And if you click the read more, the whole article will pop, including the part, and then so you have this, and so then we can go on and see exactly what's going on. Now what I like about using this particular Bible version is you can easily select which messages you've used, and you know you can read the same passage and say the message now, and so now you can see how it is in a different flavor of English. Well, that's pretty much it. That's how we do the adding and of images and read more and things of that nature. Now, one thing that I do want to show, and I'm going to hit the back button here, is if I wanted to change this, you can simply come over here to the article options. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, where did I missed it someplace. There it is, article options, read more text, and go inside the hedge. Okay, so we're going to just add that just as a little, show you how this works. So we save that again. Go back to Mr. Journey's blog. Now you're going to have to hit a refresh, and as you see, go inside the header protection of protection relationships. Oh, it added the other part, so you're actually eliminating the read more and doing this and adding it here. So that's for those of you that wanted to know what that did. That's how it is. So when we go in here, we can go inside and hit save, and then refresh, and you can see for yourself. You can change, go inside header protection relationships, and that's it. That's pretty much Joomla 2.5. Very simple, very nice and user friendly. We'll see what happens from here, and we hope that you enjoy contributing to the Amazing News Network. You do have to be approved, and we are in a process of adding the of changing this down here to using a social login. And as you see, we always have between 70 and or 27 and 100 guests on our or members on our line online at all times. There's no members that are actually logged in. So even though I'm logged in, it doesn't recognize me because of whatever reason. But this is the amazingnews.us, and this is the page and where we can add content. All right, thank you, and have a great day.